This conference will now be recorded.
I got only one response. What about rest of them? On which basis the box plot can take place? Yeah, basically the box plot is depends on IQR range. So how they're going to be calculate the IQR range means by calculating minimum value, maximum value, and the median value. Okay. So in the box you can able to find out the first line. That first line can be called as an IQR1, and the middle line can be called as an IQR2, and the next line we have called as an IQR3. And apart from the box, we have a lines in the starting and the ending also. The first line can be called as a minimum value, and the last line, top line can be called as a maximum value. Okay, now let's see in the box plot. If you want to know the more description about this box plot, just go through the Seaborn official website. So here it is. It can take, these are all the parameters. Okay, so when it comes to single star, it is a key, variable length arguments, and double star means keyword length arguments. Okay, now if you see why the box plot, when you use box plot, it can draw a box plot to show the distributions with respect to the categories. Okay, with respect to the categories, it's going to display a box plot. It will draw a box based on the categories, and how they're going to be calculate and how the data should be distributed means based on the IQR ranges. Okay, so based on the IQR ranges, it can going to calculate that box. And if you see this box plot can also called as a whisker plot. I'm already tell you. So the box plot can also called as a whisker plot. Now here you can see how the whiskers can be generated means based on minimum value, maximum value, and median value. And apart from the whiskers, you can able to address some kind of outliers, which is far away from the interquartile range, which is far away from the interquartile range. IQR can be called as an interquartile range. So now let's see how the box plot can be visualized in the Seaborn. Okay, so for that you need to import the Seaborn in the first step. So if you want to make a note of it, you can just make some kind of lines. I'm just making a lines from the official documents only, official Seaborn site. Okay, if you want to make your own note, you can note it. Okay, so both are same. So a box plot shows the distributions of data based on quartile ranges. And the way you can find out whiskers. Apart from the whiskers, you can find out those can be called as outliers. And when it comes to determination of outliers, you need to know how to calculate the IQR range. Okay, IQR3 can is equals to IQR1 minus IQR2. And if you want to use this box plot, the syntax is Seaborn dot box plot. Seaborn dot box plot. When you have a group of data, how can you convert that group of data in a markdown, like a text? How can you generate a paragraph in markdown syntax? Can anyone know? If you use quotes, it will generate like a normal string. Okay. So I'm just mentioning entire data is a block of code. Further, you can use greater than symbol. So if you are using greater than symbol in the markdown means entire text should be assigned like a block of code, block code. Okay, this code, this kind of data should be assigned like a block code. You don't need to mention these codes. Okay. So now let's see how to use this box plot in Seaborn. So for that you need to import at the initial step. So try to import it. Import Seaborn as SNS. Import Seaborn as SNS. At the initial step, it takes some time to execute it. So after that, so if you want to observe this box plot, we need to take the data, right? So with respect to data only, we are going to analyze or visualize some kind of plots. So let's take any data set which is came from Seaborn. So if you want to get the inbuilt data set names from the Seaborn, what is the method? How can you find the inbuilt data sets which is from Seaborn? Yeah, if you want to know the inbuilt data set names, you can use the method like get underscore dataset dataset underscore names, so that it will display the inbuilt datasets which can offered by Seaborn. So out of this dataset, you can prefer any one of the datasets. So let's take one dataset, that is Titanic. Let's take this Titanic dataset because we are already working on Iris dataset and TIPS dataset in yesterday. So let's take new dataset to use this to visualize the box plot. So now if I want to load this Titanic dataset, if I want to read the data from the Titanic, so dataset which is came from Seaborn, how can I load it? While loading, you need to take a variable so that it's going to be stored. So if I want to load it, how can I load it? Is there any particular method to load that particular data set? Yeah, we have a method that is load underscore dataset. So which is came from SNS, right? So you need to specify that method SNS dot load underscore dataset, and inside the parenthesis you need to specify that dataset name. So the dataset is Titanic, so you can specify like Titanic. And after loading it, if you want to get the first 5 rows, you can give head method. So it will gives you the first 5 occurrences rows. So totally it is having some kind of text like this. So survived peak loss X says SB patch fair embarked class who. So we didn't find this who in the previous, right? Adult male deck embarked down alive alone. So this is the data set that we have in the Titanic. So these are all the columns we have. So let's find out the columns. So if I want to get the columns from the data set, how can you get it? Yeah, df dot columns, so that it will give you the column names from the data set. So these are all the columns that we have. So based on these columns, you can understand, or based on the data set data, you can understand your target and the rest of input features. So in my prospection, I have survived. I think that survived is my target, and the rest of all like our input feature. Or else you can take alive is your target. Alive is also your target, and the rest of them are all your input features. Okay, it's up to you. But when it comes to visualization, you can take any other columns to anything. But when it comes to prediction, or when it comes to algorithm model training, you need to specify which are your inputs and which are your outputs. Based on that only we're going to visualize the data. So based on that only we have plot something. So let's take. So before doing a kind of plotting, let's analyze the data set. So for our analyzation, we have dot info. So let's try to observe the data set once. So it is having totally 891 rows and 15 columns. 891 rows and 15 columns, and out of this you can now you can see we have a null values in the age column. So that means we have totally a data with the 714 and the rest of them are null values. It having some null values. And also in the embarked also you will get some kind of null values. And also here deck also having totally 203 values. The rest of values are null values. And embarked town also having some null values. So based on this, you will get to understand it is a kind of data set and which requires pre-processing. Okay, which requires pre-processing because the data set in the data set some of the columns are having a null values. So before entering a kind of application, we need to analyze and we need to pre-process the data. Okay, in the data science life cycle, we have the first step is taking the data, second step is pre-processing. So whenever your data set is having some kind of null values, you need to pre-processing. That step is taken place in the second. Okay, so you need to handle it. But here we are just focusing on visualization. So I'm not going to do a pre-processing. If you want to perform a pre-processing, you just go ahead. But now I just want to show the plots. So I'm not going to do a pre-processing. And if you want to perform a pre-processing, you need to understand what are the things we need to do. So like the first thing is you need to remove the null values, remove the null values column which doesn't require you, like this. So deck is a column which having 2 or 3 null values. That means you don't require this kind of columns which is having a most null values. So instead of filling the null values, you just remove this column because it is having huge null values and it doesn't require your application. And if you see the age, so age is we must require. In that case, you can fill the null values. And also after pre-processing with null values, you just focus on data type also. So out of the data types, you can able to find out we have class is a category data type and also deck also category data type. And the rest of, and you can also find out alone. Alone is also a kind of Boolean data. So apart from integer and float, the machine cannot understand other data types. So you need to typecast it from one to another so that only it can understand. So in that case, you need to know how to encode or how to convert your object data or bool data into integers. So we had already done all these techniques in the previous pre-processing step. Okay. So after that, if you want to scale up your data, you can use scale down techniques also, like min-max scaler, standard scaler, all those things. After completing the pre-processing only, you need to come to visualization. When it comes to a kind of application, after the pre-processing only, you need to come to visualization. Okay, so now that's it about the dataset information. Let's find out the statistical information also. Df dot describe. So out of these values, you can understand it is having some kind of, whenever you calculate the describe, it will gives you a kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 15 columns, I am getting only values for only 6 columns. Why? I'm not getting the whole columns description. I'm not getting whole column statistical values, but I'm getting only 6 columns out of the 15. Why? May I know the reason? Why it is giving only 6 columns statistic data? Why it is not giving whole the columns data? Yeah, object data doesn't have correlation. That means when it comes to description, it will gives you a statistical information about the integer data type of columns only. It consider statistical information for only integer kind of columns. So integer data type of columns. So like that, it will gives you a kind of description. So after the description, instead of doing a pre-processing, I'm just go ahead with the box plot. So let's see SNS dot So SNS dot box plot. To visualize a box plot, you can have a method like box plot, and there you can specify the data that you want. So if I specify df, it will display the box plot for entire columns of the data frame. Entire columns of the data frame. That means it will generate totally 15 box plots. Let's see. So it will not generate 15 box plots, but it will generate a box plots for only survived column, P class column, age column, SB, patch, fair, and adult male and alone. Adult male and alone. Let's see the data types once. Adult male is kind of Boolean, and alone is a kind of Boolean. And so rest of them are all are integer types. Okay. So when you plot box plot for entire data set, it will take integer data and also Boolean data columns. So integer data columns we have survived and P clause and age and SB, patch and fair also. And Boolean type of data columns we have adult male and alone. And it doesn't display box plot for object type of columns or and also category type of also. So the box plot will take a categorical data as well as integer data. We are already seeing description, right? So it will take the data. See here you can observe. So it will shows the distribution of quantitative data in the way of facilitates comparison between the variables across the levels of categorical variable. So it will generate some kind of box plot distribution for either integer as well as Boolean type of data. It doesn't take object or classes category. Yeah, we are not telling that which are our input features and which are our target feature, but based on inbuilt coding, it will generate like that. And after that, if you want to specify your own input features and your own input target, you can specify it. But initial time, I'm just telling you, you can plot a box plot for entire data set also. When you display box plot for entire data set, it will takes only integer type of data and Boolean type of data. And you can see here in the Y range, we didn't specify anything. So in the exchange, it will take either integer kind of columns and Boolean kind of columns. And we are not specifying any y respected axis. And how they're going to be generate this axis means based on the distribution of data. So based on the distribution of data values, it will generate the y-axis values. Okay, when you consider, if you consider fair, so based on in the fair having maximum value of like 550 something. So if you want to see the maximum value in the fair, you just go to the statistics. So fair we have here, and the maximum value it having is 512. So based on the distribution of the data, it will generate the box plot, because the name itself, it is a categorical distribution plot. So it going to be distribute the data, and it will generate the boxes for only integers as well as Boolean kind of data. And some point of time, other than this kind of integers and also Boolean, we need to specify some kind of extra target features also. We need to visualize some kind of data with respect to our classes also. In that case, we need to typecast that data. After typecasting, we can visualize the box plot. And here we are just visualizing the data plot, box plot for entire data. So when you mention the entire data as a data equals to df, it will takes entire data frame, and out of the data frame, it will takes only input columns as input data type column and integer data type column and Boolean data type column. And after that, if you want to specify your own input column and also x column, y column, you can specify. Let's see how to specify that x and y also. So for that, you can again use SNS dot box plot. And here I just want to specify my x. So I just want to take age as my x value. Y equals to y I'm taking why I'm taking as survived. Based on the ages, I want to plot a box plot who are survived. So in that case, I'm taking X is my age and Y is my survived. So after that, you need to specify where the data can be. So we are having data with respect to df variable, and this data is a inbuilt parameter. So it is a inbuilt keyword. So based on this inbuilt keyword, you need to specify the argument. So here we have a parameter with respect to df. In the df only we have a data set. So now let's plot the box plot. So based on the age, it will generate a box plot. And here you can see age can be a continuous value. It is a n number of data. So if you want to know the values of age, you can see it here. I'm just going to display that age values. So df dot age dot values. Can we access it? So we cannot access like this. Values dot count. So if you want to get the values of it, you can use df of age dot values underscore count. Count underscore values, right? The method is counts underscore value. Every time I'm just confused with this method. Values are counts, counts are values. Dot values underscore counts. Now you can see it is a kind of 891 rows. So age is having totally 891 rows. So you can see here you will get to observe kind of 891 boxes. But it is not a clear way because age is a continuous data and it is having some kind of 891 row values with the integer value. So we cannot easily observe the change here. In that case, to observe a box for the any kind of data, better to specify a categorical data so that you can easily observe. So I'm going to change this age x respected value, or else you can specify either only one value also. Based on that y value, it will generate the distribution of data. And if I specify only y, so it will generate a kind of plot box plot like this. And in the surveyed, we have either 0 or 1. So you cannot observe exact difference. In that case, you need to specify x-axis also. So let's take some other axis as a x. So which one we need to prefer? So out of the columns, we have survived, P class, x is SB, arch, alone. Alone having S or no, alive having S or no. Let's take alive in the x-axis. Based on the survived, based on the alive, we need to tell them either person is survived or not. In that case, let's take x is alive. In that case, we are not getting any kind of box plot. It will generate some kind of lines. So let's take P class. P is a capital in that? Yeah, normal P class. So out of those, when you pass like this, you can able to observe a box plot like this. And here it will not generate a kind of axes. In the P class, it is having totally 3 classes. 1 class, 2 class, 3 class. And when you pass P class as a x, you will get to observe 1, 2, 3 as a x-axis and survived as like this. Based on the P class value distribution, it will generate 0 or 1, either survived or not. If it is 0 means the persons are not survived, 1 means persons are survived. And here also you will observe some kind of box, but we are not observe some kind of minimum value, maximum value. That means we are not observing that whiskers also. person class, that means on the which class the person is traveled in the Titanic data set. First class or second class or third class. If I take X class as embark, let's see. So here we have an embarked also, we have three classes: S class, C class, Q class. So I don't know the exact meaning of this embark, but if you want to get to observe this column description, you just go to the Titanic website, Titanic dataset description, which is came from you in the Kaggle or some other sources also. Okay, so let's take some other parameters. So it can support some kind of hue also. We're already seen hue. Based on hue, we can group the values, right? So here if I pass hue as sex, based on the sex, it will generate the plot. So you can see for male category, it will generate a color as blue. For female category, it will generate a color of orange. Okay. But when you take this Titanic data set, you will not get to observe the proper box format. So I'm not comfortable with this. Let's take some other data set, because we are not able to see the particular box kind of plot, right? It is a kind of bar plot. We can able to see a bars as well as we'll get the lines, but we are not get to observe that whiskers. So let's take new data set. So df1 sns dot load underscore data set. I'm going to take this tips data set. df1 dot head. So this is a tips data set. Now let's apply this box plot for tips data set. sns dot box plot. If I mention data equals to df, so it will generate a kind of box plot for integer kind of data. It is a df1. So it will generate a box plot for total bill or tip and size. So it doesn't take sex and smoker, day and time, because those are all object data. So now if I plot with respect to x and y values, sns dot box plot of. So it's based on the data only, right? So if the data is correctly suitable to visualize a box plot, we can prefer the box plot. So it's up to the data. So data based on the data values only, we prefer one particular plot. And while practicing, you will get to observe more things. Based on that, we will prefer a best plot to visualize our data. So let's take box plot x equals to. I'm just taking x, in the x, I'm taking tip. It is a tip or tips. Tip. And I'm not taking y, I'm just defining data. So it will generate a box plot based on the tip. Okay, based on the tip. So it will automatically generate the density of the values. Okay, and if you see, these are all plot, these dots can be called as a whiskers, and this last dot, which is far away from the given range, can be called as an outlier. Okay, so these dots also and these kind of lines also you can generate by calculating the IQR, interquartile range. Okay, and let's pass some other parameters and observe the changes. So box plot can also support x and y. So let's pass y equals to, I'm passing y value as x, and I'm also passing hue parameter. Based on hue, it will group the objects. So I'm passing hue as smoker. So now you can observe it will generate a kind of distribution box plot, and based on the hue parameter smoker. So in the smoker, you will get to observe two categories, either yes or no. So yes means the person is going to be smoked. No means the person cannot be smoked. Based on the sex and based on the tip value, we can group the values as well as smoking parameter. And you can specify the colors also that you want. So basically, it will defaultly generate a kind of blue color and also orange color. So if you want to change the color, you can change it. And also we have a one kind of default themes and styles that we have in Seaborn. Let's apply that also. So SNS dot to apply a styles for that, we have a method like SNS dot set underscore styles. We have already seen these styles in the first day of Seaborn. So it will take defaultly 5 styles like white grid, white, dark grid, or dark, like that. If I pass dark grid, dark underscore grid, so it is a set underscore theme is the method. So you can context must be in a paper, notebook, talk, poster. When it is a theme, you need to specify which kind of theme you have to specify. So it is a kind of paper or notebook. Let's pass paper here. So it will generate a kind of box plot to apply for a paper theme. And if you change it to poster, the size of plot can be increased like this. Okay, like this you can apply a kind of styles. So by using set underscore theme, you can apply your kind of plot like poster or paper. And if you make any kind of error, and it will tell you the supported themes like paper, poster, notebook, like that. If I make it as notebook, let's see, observe the changes. It will generate a plot based on the notebook font. Okay. Now let's pass another parameters in box plot. The box plot is very important when you want to find out the outliers of your columns. So after here, if you want to specify the colors also, you can specify it. Defaultly, it will generate the colors like blue and orange. If you want to change the colors, you can change it by parameter like color equals to. So based on based on the hue parameter, you need to specify the colors that you want to change. So in the smoker, in the hue parameter, we are passing smoker. So in the smoker, have two categories, either yes or no. That means you need to specify the length of colors as 2. So I'm specifying the colors are R and yellow. RGBA sequence should have length 3 or more. Female, male. Red, green, black. Let's see the syntax once, the supported colors for this. When you have an error, just go to the documentation or signature window. So it will take defaultly matplotlib color, optionally color for all the elements, or see for gradient palette. Okay, you can specify the color with palette equals to one kind of format. So if I specify instead of colors, palette, let's see, observe the changes. C3 is a one kind of color format. So like light blue and light orange. If I make set 2, it will display like a green color. Yeah, green and orange combination. Okay, so like this you can specify the palette also. And if you observe, it will generate a box plot like some kind of lines. So if you want to specify the line width, you can specify line width also. We have a one more parameter that is line width. So you can specify the width of the your box plot. If I specify 2.5, based on that width, it will generate it. So the width of the box plot may be varied. So if I change it to 5, so the width of the box plot is increased based on the line width we have passed. Okay. So and also we have one more parameter that is, let's apply a new theme and let's pass some other parameters. So here I am applying theme as so the theme we have paper, notebook, talk and poster. Let's apply talk and see the differences. And here we are taking x equals to tip. So instead of tip, I am just taking total bill as my x value. So total underscore bill, and y is x and data is df1, hue equals to day. Let's take a hue parameter is day, and palette. So we don't want this palette. Let's remove it. It will defaultly generate the colors. And if you want to make it line width, you can use it. So based on the total bill and based on the x as y-axis, it will generate the box plot like this. And when you make a talk means it will generate a plot in the middle like this. The size should be shrinkaged. Plot size should be shrinkaged, and you can observe it. And if I remove this line width, you can observe the plot like this when you set the theme as talk. If you don't mention this theme, so it will defaultly generate the theme. So once you apply the theme, it will apply to entire next upcoming box plots also. Okay, now here we can apply one more parameter, that is orient. If you want to generate your box plot as horizontal, you can apply it. So by taking a new cell, I'm going to apply it sns dot box plot. The data we have is in the df1, and you can specify the parameter as orient equals to horizontal. If you want to generate the plot in the horizontal, you can specify like horizontal, and you can specify the palette also. I'm just specifying palette equals to set 2, so that it will generate a color 2. What does it mean? Value or set 2 is a not valid format. So and also it will suggest you some kind of palette colors. So out of those you can pick up any one. Somebody microphone is turned on. Try to mute.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, based on this color palette, it will generate a blue color, and it will generate the box plot as a horizontal. So because we are passing orient as a H. Okay, so that's it about the box plot. Next we will see the rest of distribution plots. So the next distribution plot we have is KDE plots. Yeah, for identifying outliers, we can mostly choose box plot. Okay, the next plot we have is KDE plot. KDE means kernel density estimator. Based on the density of the data, it will distribute the data. So by calculating the density, so it will distribute the data. So let's see, for importing this KDE, we have a method sns.kde plot or seaborn.kde plot, so that you can import it. So by using this KDE, you can generate that, you can distribute the data smoothly. By using this KDE plot, or by when you use the KDE plot, the data should be distributed very smoothly. So distributed data distributed smoothly across the density. Or else I can specify like based on density. Okay. So let's see the parameters that can supported by KDE plot. In the search bar, you can just type KDE plot. So it will open the results. Out of those, you can pick up KDE plot. So the method is seaborn.kde plot, and it will take some kind of parameters like this. And by using KDE plot, you can plot univariate or bivariate distribution using kernel density estimation. Okay. So by using histogram also, it will distribute the data like univariate or bivariate. We're already seen that. And here the KDE plot basically based on kernel density estimation function. So it will works based on kernel density estimation function. In the histogram, it will only depends on density of it. But here it will depends on kernel density estimation. By using it, the data can be distributed univariate or bivariate. And the kernel density plot is a method of visualizing the distribution of observations in a data set, analogous to histogram. Okay, so in the histogram, it will takes only a density. So KDE represents the data using continuous probability density curve. That means you will get to observe a kind of smooth curve, sine wave curve. Okay, so you can use curve also, or else you can also observe more dimensions. So when you have a single dimension, you can 2 dimension, you can observe a curve. But when you have some other dimensions also, you can observe this KDE plot. You can observe the dimensions by using KDE plot. Okay. And here you can see in the bottom, you can see the supported parameters X and Y and also data, and the kernel is str. Here you can see it will take one parameter, that is kernel, and defaultly this kernel is like a str format. Okay, and this kernel you can see the supported kernel parameters also, and legend also there, hue there, and also palette also there, multiples also there, method for drawing multiple elements when some semantic mapping creates subsets. Okay, so based on the application, we can refer the documentation. Out of this, we can pick up the models. Okay, so not only the methods which I told you, we have so many methods. Based on the methods, based on the parameters, we can define our data. So let's make a sentence also. So by using KDE, you can plot univariate, bivariate by using kernel density estimation. Okay, let's try to observe this KDE plots. Import SNS, import seaborn as SNS. After that, we are going to load the data set. So for this seaborn, we can take any other data set. Let's take a data set. Let's take DF1 only. So we're already loaded that, right? So with respect to that only, we are going to observe the changes. So while plotting SNS dot KDE plot, you can specify the data equals to, so df1. So it will plot the data. See, in the previous we are setting a theme for by using Seaborn. So like ticks talk, right? So this talk, once you run this set theme, it will automatically generated that theme for everything. We are not generating this manually. Background it will automatically generate. If you want to change it, you can change it. Let's see. So SNS dot set underscore theme paper. I'm just changing the theme to paper. Now you can see the font of the plot is decreased to paper size. So it is very small. So let's make it as poster. Okay. So when you plot the KDA plot for the DF1 total tips data set, so out of the tips data set, it will takes only integer type of data. So as you take the other plots also, it will takes only integer type of data columns. Here also it will take the integer kind of data columns, and based on the data density. So now you can see in the y-axis it will calculate the density of it. So based on the density, it will generate a curves. So the data should be distributed like a smooth way, smooth sine wave. So here also you can specify x and y parameters if you want. So now let's see how to apply the changes. KDE plot of, I'm just taking x equals to tip. So when you take x parameter is tip, so it will generate that data distribution, a kind of kernel density estimation distribution plot with respect to tip data only. So the tip can be varied from 0 to 5 to 5 to 10. So the maximum value in the tip is we have only 10. So based on that value, it will automatically generate, and based on the density of the tip, it will generate a KDE plot, and this plot should be generated like very smooth. Okay, very smooth. So try to pass x and y also, and try to generate a KDE plot. Try to generate a KDE plot by taking x and y parameters and hue parameter also, and let me know if you are completed. Take x and y parameters also to display KDE plot, and let me know if you are completed after that. It takes only 2 to 3 minutes. I need responses from everyone. I got only one response. So only one person is completed up to this. What about rest of them? You need to take x and y parameters also to plot a KDE plot, as well as hue parameter. So this KDE also supports hue parameter. So apply the x, y, data, hue parameter, and let me know if you are completed. Okay, good. Who are completed? Good. So I'm just taking some other integer type of column only here, so that when you have a two integer type of columns, you might get a kind of distribution data like this. So you will get a kind of distribution like data like this, and if you take some other data like categorical data with respect to some other axis, it will not generate a data like this. When you have a two integers in a when you have a two category two type of data with respect to axis like x and y, so you might get a result like this, a kind of curves, and after those I want to filter the data which is related to male and female. I can apply a hue parameter. So here you can able to find out the male category kind of people are pointed out by blue color, and female can be pointed out by orange color. Okay, so now we have one more parameter, so let's apply that in a new line. So that is, here I'm just taking a categorical data only in the, with respect to y-axis, that is day I am taking here. The day is there. The y variable is categorical, but one of numeric data type is required. To take 6. Oh, okay. It is a kind extra data. So if we are passing, it will take only integer data. So if I pass a data with respect to categorical, it cannot take in. So you can specify. When you want to specify integers data in x and y, it is okay. But you need to specify only integer data, because with respect to that integer data only, the data should be continuously distributed, right? So it will take only integer kind of data to plot a KD, kernel density estimated plot. It takes only integer. So x equals to, if I pass tips and data is df1, and if I, so when you plot a tip by using KD plot, you will get a kind of smooth curve like this. And sometimes you can also observe the data distribution not smoothly by passing one more parameter, that is bandwidth adjust. Okay, so for that we have bw underscore adjust. We have a parameter. So if you specify the parameter value like 5, you will get more smoothness of data. The data should be distributed based on kernel density like smoothly. And previously, if you are not specifying that, in that case it will generate some kind of noise or like strikes. You will get strikes like this. The kind of curve is not a smooth way. If you want to get a data like smooth distribution, you can specify like bandwidth adjustment parameter. By that it will generate a kind of smooth distribution of data. Or else you can reduce it also. When you reduce it, you will get to observe kind of when you specify less bandwidth as a parameter, in that case the data should have less smoothness. If I specify 1.5, if I specify my bandwidth adjust rate as 0.5, now you will get to observe the data should be distributed like less smoothly. Okay, if you want to distribute your data like more smoothness, you can increase that bandwidth adjustment parameter. So if I specify 5, you will get more smoothness to that data distribution. Okay, and along with I'm passing hue parameter also. If I pass hue parameter is equals to 6, so based on that it will generate. Or else you can specify day also. Any categorical data you can specify as a hue parameter. So hue can take any categorical data or else integer data. So based on the day, it will group the data. So for Thursday, it will generate a blue color, and for Friday, it will generate orange color. So based on that color, we can point out which day having the kind of data distribution. Okay. So now if you observe, we have four kind of distributions. For Thursday having some kind of data distribution, for Friday also having some kind of data distribution. So if you want to stack them, you can use one more parameter. So if you want to stack them, we can use, when you have a multiple data distribution, you can use a stack parameter, because we have multiple data distribution. Then you can use, here is a parameter like stack. So it will fill the data with respect to that range of that particular data. So fill the color of it with respect to that range of that particular data. When you use stack parameter, so it will fill the data with respect to that color of it. And this stack parameter, you can pass it with respect to multiple argument. So this multiple argument will support you when you have a hue parameter. When you have a hue parameter only, it will takes. Now let's see if I don't have this hue. Let's observe, is that taking or not. See, when you don't have hue parameter, this multiple cannot work, because when you have multiple data distribution, this multiple will work. So if you specify like tip, means it is having only one data distribution. So make sure when you have a hue parameter only, this multiple parameter can work. Okay, am I clear, guys, up to this? What about rest of them? Am I clear up to this? Okay, next distribution plot we have is violin plot. So we're already seen this kind of all distribution plots in the cat plot, a basic plot, cat plot. With the help of cat plot, we are already seeing this box plot, violin plot, all those things, right? But individually, you should know how this violin plot can be executed. So this violin plot is a combination of box plot and KDE plot. This violin plot is a combination of box plot and KDE plot, and it is similar like box plot and whisker plot. Based on that quartile ranges only, this violin plot also generated, but the shape should be different. Okay, when you mix this box plot and KDE plot, the shape is look like a violin plot. That's why they make it name as a violin plot. Okay, so it shows the distributions of quantitative data across the levels of categorical data. Like as a box plot, it can also helpful to distribute the categorical data by calculating the quartile ranges. And it can generate a kind of univariate distance and also bivariate distance by calculating a KDE density estimation plot. So because it is a combination of both. And if you want to import this, you can use SNS dot violin plot. Violin plot. This is the syntax. Let's see how to apply this. So for this, we are going to take a data set. So SNS dot. So the kind of syntaxes is same in any case, but you need to observe the visualization. Import cborn as SNS, and we are going to set the theme as set underscore theme. As in the set underscore theme, you can also pass style parameter. So by using style also you can specify it. I just want to specify a style as dark grid. Yeah, okay, there is a method with dark grid. Now we can apply this violin plot to the same tips.data set. If you want to take a new data set, it's not a problem, try to take it. And the execution for that is same in any case. Okay. So the parameters are different, like input data should be different. So SNS dot violin plot. Violin plot of, you can specify by taking all the data at initial time. It has no violin plot. So it will generate a violin plot for a kind of integer data columns. So we have totally, so it is a D of 1, right? It will generate say three violin plots for 3 columns, because these 3 columns are only integer kind of data, total bill and tip and size. Okay, so instead of that, if you want to specify only one particular violin plot for only one feature, you can use SNS dot violin plot of, you can specify x equals to, you can directly access it, or else you can access with this method also. So tips we are loading with the variable of d of 1. So d of 1 of, we can take any other feature from there. So I'm just taking tip, and you need to specify the data also. When you directly access it, you don't need to specify the data. And if you specify only x equals to tips, means in that case you need to what do you see them has no, oh, there is a spelling mistake. Yeah, in this case you will get a violin plot for tip column only, tip feature only, and this is taken with respect to x-axis, and based on the density, it will generate a kind of curves. Okay, these curves, smooth curves, can be generated with the help of KDE plot, and in the middle you can able to observe one kind of a box. So that box will be generated with the help of box plot, because it is a combination of box plot and also KDE plot. Okay, and based on the density, it will generate these curves. Based on the distribution of data, the y-axis values are automatically generates. Okay, now you can also specify that x and y axis also. SNS dot violin plot of x equals to df of, I'm just taking x value is day, and y value is, so it is a df1. So df1 of, you can take when you take only 2 categorical data. See, whenever you take 2 categorical data with respect to x and y axis, it will raise a error like neither x or nor y appears to be numeric. That means it will take any one feature, any one column as a numeric data. It accepts any one column as a numeric data. When you pass the 2 columns as a categorical data, it doesn't accept it. Okay, it will raise a type error. Any one column should access numeric data. Okay, let's change here. So I'm just changing in the y-axis. I'm just passing size. Okay, now you can able to observe a kind of violin plots. And also you can specify other parameters like hue. So hue equals to, and specifying hue parameter equals to sex. When you specify hue equals to sex, it could not interpret input as a sex. If I take it as like this, when you pass data, it will take, I think so. Data equals to d of 1. Whenever you specify the data, you don't need to specify like df1 of like this day, and then y equals to size, data equals to d of 1, hue equals to 6. Now let's see. And now it's working. So the hue parameter will work when you specify data like data equals to df1. When you mention data equals to df1, you can specify like xy directly, like a kind of string. Instead of accessing df1 of day, you can directly mention that name of column. So based on the sex, it will group the data with respect to x-axis of day and y-axis of size. So size might having 0 to 7 range, and days are we have totally 4: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. And if you want to change these colors, you can use palette is the command to change the colors. You can specify the colors. If I specify set3 value error, that means it doesn't have this method. So it supports this kind of colors. You can pick up any one color out of those. So when you get the errors, you don't get afraid. Try to observe the error. In the error also, you will get some kind of answers. When you mention palette equals to rocket, you might get the colors is like this, purple and some kind of color pink combination. Okay. And also if you want to specify a column, you can specify it. Let's see. If I specify column, based on the column, it will again generates. We don't have column. It is having only color. Okay, we have one more parameter, that is split. Split equals to true. If you specify the split equals to true, you will get to observe it will split between this. You will get to observe a line between this, between the plots. Like this, you can able to observe one kind of line between these. Defaultly, that split is like a false. That's why this both can be combined together. When you make it, when you make split as true, then the both can be mixed together. Both are splitted. They are not mixed. Okay. So let's see, we have one more method, that is inner and outer. Let's observe that also. So split equals to true. And if I mention inner, so when you mention inner equals to stack, you will get to observe kind of lines in between that. It is a stick. You will get to lines in between these like this. And also this inner also will take some other parameter like quarter, I think. Let's see supported methods. When you mention like quartile or quartile, order, cut, scale, width, inner. So inner will takes you like box, quartile, and point, stick. So if you make it as inner equals to quartile, so based on quartile ranges, you will get a kind of lines in between the quartile range like this. Okay, so it will point out the quartile range in the violin plot. It will point out the quartile range by passing like a dots or a kind of lines. If you make it as stick, you will get to observe kind of lines like this, straight lines. It's up to you. You just go through the signature window. If you forget anything, you just go through that signature window, or else you can go through the official website. There you can get the supported attributes for that. Okay, that's it about the violin plot. After the that plots, what we have after the continuous distribution plots, we have continuous estimator plots. So let's see. So we might already seen this bar plot, right? So let's explain with only sample example instead of use. So the first one is bar plot. By using bar plot, you can estimate something. So on which range it's going to be generate. So for importing bar plot, we have a SNS dot bar plot. Okay, so let's plot bar plot SNS dot bar plot of data equals to dfy. If you take all the data, so it will generate a bar plot based on integer columns like total bill, tip, and size. So out of those, you can understand based on the values of it, it will generate that bar plot. In the y-axis, based on the values that automatically generates. So this bar plot will takes you kind of parameters like x, y, hue, as well as estimator. So these are because these are all estimator plots. Okay, you have one more parameter in this, that is estimator. So before that, let's observe this bar plot by passing x and y and also hue parameter, and let me know if you are completed. Try to observe this bar plot by passing x, y, and hue parameters. After that, let me know if you are completed. So when you search this bar plot in Seaborn, you will get some kind of description over here. This will show some kind of point estimation between the intervals of rectangular bars like this. As a rectangular bars, you will get some kind of confidential intervals, and in the body you will get to observe some kind of text that will describe the bar plot. So I'm just make it copy here. Okay, let's apply SNS dot bar plot of. You can specify x equals to, let's take x equals to day and y equals to total bill. And you can take tip. And the data, when you take x and y like this, you need to specify data compulsory. With respect to that data only, it's going to be fetched that x and y values. So based on that day, you will get to observe 4 plots because we have totally 4 days. Okay, so like this it will generate based on the tip. So the maximum tip might have 0 to 3.5 when it comes to days wise, and the Sunday, yeah, the person will get you most tip with the value of 3.5. Okay, and also you can specify the hue parameter. Based on that, it will group the values. Hue equals to, I'm just making the hue parameter as smoker. So based on that smoker, it will generate every either smoker yes or no. For every yes and no, it will generate kind of bar plots for every day: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, let's pass one more parameter, that is estimator, because these are all estimator plots. So let's see that parameter. So by calculating the median of the median, you can pass that median as a value for the central tendency. So to generate a bar plots, you can specify this estimator also. So sometimes if you want to generate a bar graph by calculating the median of it, in that case you can use this estimator function. And here I just I'm not passing this hue parameter. So estimator equals to, you can specify estimate on which basis you want to plot this bar plot. I just want to calculate the median, and with respect to that median I want to plot my bar plot, so I can mention estimator as median. So this median will get you from the numpy, because this is not a predefined, right? So you will get this kind of mean or median from numpy. So numpy as np, you know to import first. We can import it like import np dot median. Okay, so it will calculate the median of this kind of tip and day. So out of this we have one column as one column as object. So that object data we have in the x-axis, that is day. So it will calculate the median of this tip. So based on that median of it, it will generate some kind of bar plot. So here we are mentioning estimator as median. So if I want to generate the bar plot with respect to mean of it, you can mention np dot mean. Okay, now the values, you can observe the bars so that you can understand how the graph will be changed. Okay, if I want to change my estimator by calculating the standard deviation, you can make it as np dot standard deviation. You can get the standard deviation like std, right? Now you can see the bars can be changed, and the standard deviation values here you will get like this. And if you want to calculate the standard deviation of it, you can calculate it like random dynamically. If you want to calculate it, if you df1 of tip, df1 dot tip dot std. So it will gives you the standard deviation of that tip column. So basically the standard deviation might lies between 1.38. Okay, 1.38. That means here you will get. So for every, so if you take this tip, it is having a standard deviation value of 1.38. So in that case, when you want to plot bar plot for standard deviation calculation of tip, you need to calculate the bar plot with respect to this day wise every time. So that means you need to convert this day columns into some kind of integers, and you need to calculate it. Okay, so instead of all things, it will just defaultly calculating estimator function, and backend there is a process to calculate it, and this estimator will take you a kind of estimator, say either mean or median or standard deviation, any kind of estimations. Okay, so that is the thing we have to focus on. Because it is a bar plot can act like as an estimator plot. There it will take some kind of estimator parameters supported as mean, median, standard deviation calculations, any statistical functions. Okay, and if I don't mention like this tip, and if I take the y-axis also as an object, now you can see it will raise an error, because it is estimator plots. Estimator plots, some plots might takes any axis as a numeric data. So if you take both x and y as an object, it will not accept to plot it. Okay. Okay, so that's it about the bar plot. Now let's see some other plot in that is point plot. So the name itself, it is a plot that will point out a particular point. Okay, let's see the point plot. To point out data or values. We can use this point plot. And to import this, we have a method like sns dot point plot. Okay, sns dot point plot. So sns dot point plot of you can see the description window. So it will shows the point estimation under confidence intervals using scatter plot graphs. By when you use this point plot, defaultly it will generate a kind of scatter plot, and it will shows the point estimation between two values, two intervals. Okay, it will shows the point estimation between two kind of values or intervals. Okay, let's see how to apply this. So for this, we are going to take the same data only. So when it comes to all the data, you can specify like df1. So out of the df1, you can see it will takes out of the df1, it will takes integer columns, and here you can see the total bill, it will take the maximum values to point out. Okay, it will takes the maximum values to point out. The total bill having the maximum value is 20. The maximum value is 20. And in the tip, it takes the point as 2.5, and the size it will takes the point like this. Okay, and you can specify the x and y axis also. When you pass the whole data frame, it will point out with respect to integer columns of data, and also you can specify your particular x and y. If I take x equals to 6 and data equals to df1, so you will get error like type error. So it must and should takes the horizontal orientation requires numeric x variable, because when you want to point out something between the two intervals, you need to specify two values. So with respect to one axis, you cannot get that interval range. So we need to specify that y axis also. If I specify y equals to total bill, total underscore bill. So based on the total underscore bill, it will generate a kind of point plot like this. Okay. So here we are passing in the x-axis, we are passing x equals to 6. So in that 6 might have male and female, and in the y-axis we are passing total bill, and based on the values it will point out. The male category having total bill lies between 19.5 to maybe 19.2 to 22. And coming to female category, this female category total bill lies between 15 to 20. Okay, like this you can point out any kind of bit variables, and you can specify the estimator also. And before that, let's observe some other parameters. If I you can also specify hue. If I specify day, so based on the day it will generate the point plots like this. So we have totally 4 days. So based on the day, it will group the objects when it comes to total bill and 6. Okay, and we have one more parameter. If you want to separate these intervals, because when you point out something, it will generate a kind of lines. Along with the lines, it will point out the intervals. And you don't want that lines, you can use one parameter, that is dodge equals to true. So you can separate that kind of points by passing dodge parameter. When you pass dodge parameter true, the kind of point plots can be separated. So previously you can observe all the lines should be lies in the same interval. You might think the all plots can be lies in between the same range. But when you use dodge true, you will get some kind of interval difference. Okay, so that you can separate the work kind of intervals also. And also we have one more parameter. So what is that? You can specify estimator also. Let's see if I pass estimator equals to np dot mean SNS dot set underscore theme and set underscore style. Style equals to if I pass white grid. The style should be allocated like a white grid, and we're going to import number. When it comes to estimation, you need to import number. np dot mean. So based on mean calculation, it will generate a kind of plots for every day. Every day. If I remove this hue, let's observe the changes. So background, it can be assigned the theme like white grid. The estimator can be calculated like mean. Dodge equals to true. If I make it as std, there is no parenthesis. Now if you can see the standard deviation mostly varies from 6 to 10.5. So based on the standard deviation, the point plot will be pointers, the intervals. Okay, am I clear up to this, all of you? Is this clear, all of you, up to this? Okay, next we have joint plot. So the joint plot means the name itself is going to be joined to two graphs. So here you can see draw a plot for two variables with bivariate or univariate. That means it going to be joined two plots. So now let's see, when you want to join two plots, you can join it by using join plot. Defaultly it have a two plots. When it have a scatter plots, it's going to be joined with KDA, and when it is have a regression plots, it's going to be joined with histogram. Let's see the supported plots defaultly. To import it, we have a method like sns dot join plot. Okay, so sns dot join plot of. So here I'm just specifying df1 of tip. Then you can specify. So when it is directly accessing, you don't need to specify data. So now you can see I'm just specifying the data is tip. So when you specify data equals to tip, you will get to observe. So background is a white grid. So let's change it. The theme set underscore SNS dot set underscore theme. to style equals to dark green. So you're going to apply, you're going to see some kind of two plots together. So one plot is out of the margins like this, and one plot is between this. But inside this plot, you will not get any points because it is a continuous data, and this continue because tip is a continuous integer data. We are not going to tell you either which format, and based on that, it will generate only histogram. So because it is a histogram is a combination of inbuilt scatter plot. So if I change like day. Day of 1 of yeah, you will get this day can be plotted in the next yeah. So now you can able to see the two graphs will be getting, we are getting two plots, one is histogram and the second one is scatter plot. And so you will get to observe here we are passing in the x column we are passing some kind of days, that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and in the y-axis we are passing gender like female or male. And based on when you plot a joint plot for these two features, it will plot something like every time the male and female can be appeared in the day with respect to day, every time they're going to be getting. And if you see here in the right side after the margins, you will get to observe some kind of histogram plot because it's going to be scattered, it's going to be joined together. If you want to change that joint plots, you can specify the plot that you want to get. Okay, you can specify the plot also that you want to get. So now you can specify the kind. With respect to kind parameter, you can specify which kind of plot do you want to join. So if I specify the plot as KDE, now you will get a kind of what it is telling. So KDE means it will take only numeric data, right? But we are passing a sex as a object data. So that's why it will raise an error. In that case, you need to specify only numeric data. I'm just specifying numeric data as tip in the x-axis and y-axis. So in the x-axis also, I'm going to change it with total bill, total underscore bill. Now you can going to observe. So when you specify kind equals to KDE, whatever you specify in the kind parameter, that will be get in the marginal sites. You will get a marginal sites as a plot with respect to kind parameter. Okay, and in the main plot you will get a histogram. You will get a main plot as a histogram. So sorry, it is also KDE plot. Okay, when you have a two continuous data like this, you will get a kind of plot like this, and the marginal plot is like a KDE. You can specify the plot that you want to join together. Okay, when you use kind equals to KDE, you can get a KDE plot like margins, and you will get a KDE in between also. And now you can specify some other plots also. We have some other regression plots also, and these are all very important when it comes to machine learning. You should know how the regression plots. If I specify REG means you will get some kind of regression plot. So you will get a kind of line like this. These are all the points that we have. And out of the points, you will get a kind of straight line. This straight line can be pointed out like a regression plot. Okay, that means it will point out that a kind of plots out of the tip and total bill. At some point, the points can be matched together. So with whenever they match, I want to plot a regression plot by using a line. So if you want to draw a regression line, you can use kind equals to REG. You can use kind equals to REG so that you will get a regression plot. Like this, you can specify a kind of plots by using join plot. And also we have one more plot that is hexagonal. You can also specify hexagonal type of plot. For that, you can specify the parameter as hex. Now you can able to observe a hexagonal kind of pattern in between that, and from the marginal sides you will get to observe a histogram. That means here the two plots are joined. One is hexagonal and then one is histogram. And this default plots is automatically generated based on kind parameter. The default plots is generated. If I specify kind equals to hexagonal, based on that kind parameter, when it is a hexagonal, it will generate marginal plot as a histogram. Backend there is a specific function to do that. Okay, like this the joint plot will be getting. Now the next plot we have is pair plot, and this is very important when it comes to machine learning. Whenever you want to observe the relation between two features, observe the relations features by using a pair plot, you can observe the relation between any kind of features. Like when you want to find out the best features, you can use histogram, you can use correlation calculation, or else you can use pair plot to visualize. By using visualization also you can find out the best features. So for that we have a method to import sns dot pair plot. It will gives you the relation between one to another. Let's see the practically. sns dot pair plot of, you can specify the data. So I'm just specifying x equals to x and y equals to tip, y equals to tip, and the data equals to we have df1. So in that case it will raise an error like type error. So that means in the x-axis you need to specify. So it doesn't take, okay, pair plot doesn't take any kind of x and y axis. It will okay, let's take data equals to df1. So based on the features of all data frame, it will tells you the relation between one to another. Okay, based on the features of it, it will tells you the relation between one to another. That means in that case you can not specify one particular feature, right? When you want to find out the relation means you need to access all the features so that it will gives you the relation between one to another. So it doesn't take one or two, it will take entire data frame. So data equals to df1. Now you will get a kind of integer kind of data columns. So out of those we have total bill, tip, and size. So now based on this you can understand a kind of relation, like how the relation between total bill and total bill to tip, and total bill to size, as well as tip to tip, tip to total bill, tip to total bill, tip to tip, and tip to size. That means you will get to understand a kind of relation. If you see this total bill, and if you see the relation between total bill, and I'm going to minimize it. So if you see the total bill to total bill, there is no relation. And if you see the total bill to tip, total bill to tip, so there is a kind of not a particular relation. And also if you see the total bill to size, if the size is increased, total bill also increased. You will get to observe one thing: if the size is increased, total bill also increased. Okay, and if you see the tip to total bill, there is no kind of when you seeing it, the relation can be either linearly increased, linearly decreased, like that, and probability of increasing or probability of decreasing, like that you can understand. So when it comes to machine learning, you will get more understanding about this pair plot, but this pair plot will basically use to find out the best features by calculating the relation between one to another. Okay, so that's it about the pair plot. And now let's see correlation. We have already loaded the data frame, and this is very important. So after calculating the correlation, let's visualize that correlation with respect to heat map df1 dot. By calculating the for calculating the correlation, we have a method df1 dot cor. So it will gives you the correlation for integer kind of data, because the correlation can be calculated for integer data only. Now you can understand the correlation may varies from -1 to +1. If it is -1, they are not correlated. and if +1, the features are highly correlated. Now by seeing this correlation also, you will get to understand how the features are related to one to another. Now if you see the total bill to total bill, it is highly correlated. Total bill to total bill means highly correlated. And if you see the total bill to tip, so total bill to tip, the value is 0.6. That means it might be a correlation, positive correlation. It might be a positive correlation. And also if you see total bill to size, it is a 0.5 value. So it is not a positive relation, but mostly it doesn't affect when you take the total bill size feature. And also you can see the tip to total bill, and here also you will get 0.6 as a correlation value as a when you calculate tip to total bill correlation. And also tip to tip also good correlation, with same features have high correlation, but we doesn't take it. And if you see tip to size, it is a 0.48, so we doesn't consider this tip and size as a best features. And also if you see size, so size, that means it's up to you. When the target is total bill, if you want to find out the total bill as a target, if you want to find out predict your total bill, in that case you are going to find out the relation between total bill to the rest of features. So total bill to tip, total bill to size. So based on that you can find out out of these features, total bill having the kind of relation with a tip only, it may be 0.6. So instead of -1 to +1, most of the correlation features will having 0.6 to 1. We will consider the features which they have 0.6 to 1. When it is a positive correlation, we will consider the correlation values as 0.6 to +1. And also we are going to consider the features which are negatively correlated. When it is having minus values also, we are going to consider that features also. And we will use this correlation calculation mostly in upcoming sessions, and there you will get more clarity. Now if I want to visualize this correlation, you can use one map, that is heat map. We are already discussing in yesterday. So let's see how the heat map is. So SNS dot heat map, I'm going to end the session within 5 minutes, don't worry. Okay, heat map of, you can store the correlation or else you can directly pass it, don't worry. df1 dot corr. Okay, now you will get to observe some kind of heat map. So by seeing, so this is related to how this heat map is generated, means based on this correlation values only it will generate. And out of this you can see the correlation values are varied from minus 0.5 to 1.0. Okay, so the correlation values which is came from data frame 1 is varied from 0.5 to 1.0. Okay, so out of this you can also understand total bill is having these kind of values. And if you want to get the values along with the colors, you can use one more parameter, that is a naught. We are already seen is in yesterday. You can make it a naught equals to true, so that you will get the correlation values along with the colors like this. You can see. So based on these colors along with the values, you can figure out which columns are highly correlated to your feature. If you consider total bill as your feature, you can figure out which features are affected to your target, like either tip or size. So if you see in my perspective, when the correlation values are 0.5 more than 0.5 to 1, means those features are highly correlated to your target. Okay, in this case, total bill is having a 0.68 with tip. 68 total bill having correlation value of 0.68 with tip, means you are going to consider when you want to predict total bill, you can consider tip is a best feature. Like this, you can consider it. Okay. Yeah, that's it about the today's session. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can leave. Thank you all.